It is Friday, November 16th, 2012. We're live in the Wall Street Journal newsroom in New York. Today on WSJ Lunch Break, the mobile map feud between Google and Apple is headed for a showdown as Google readies a new map app for iTunes. Jessica Lessin is in San Francisco. She's been reporting on this for us. Hey there, Jessica.
Hi, Wendy.
For some folks, myself included, this new map from Google on iTunes cannot come soon enough. Tell us a little bit about it and when we're going to see it.
Well, so after being booted off the iPhone, Google used to power the mapping app that was pre-installed in all iPhones, but Apple introduced its own one back in September. But Google is now getting closer, doing some external testing of its app, which it hopes to reintroduce pretty soon.
Now, the problem that a lot of people found with the Apple map was just that it just wasn't as specific in terms of locations and businesses popping up as the Google map was. How will this new Google map app be different?
It's a great question. So, I think Google, compared to what used to be on the iPhone, Google has tried to even improve that. So we hear there's going to be turn-by-turn navigation, which is sort of what makes it look like a GPS. And that wasn't in the previous Google-powered app for the iPhone. It is in Apple Maps, and it's one of the features that people like about Apple's new mapping service. But as you said, there are a lot of complaints that the data just isn't accurate. And I think that Apple has apologized for this. They've said that, it wasn't ready to be released, and they're working hard to fix it. But what we're still hearing from users is that it's just not getting the information correct as often as Google does. And there could be many reasons for that. It could just be that it hasn't had the chance to learn as much. There hasn't been as much usage. It could be that it's not Apple's expertise. It's obviously Google's expertise if you're thinking about search. So we'll have to watch and see how the Apple one improves over time. But meanwhile, Google's going to come in with something that consumers are probably going to like because they liked the old one, and we hear this is a step up.
Now, Jessica, paint the bigger picture for us all about what's really at stake here between these two companies, because from the consumer end, we just want to get to where we're going, and we want as much information within that experience as possible. So may the best map app win, in our opinion. But for Google and Apple, what do they get in the grander scheme of this? Because they're obviously, Google's not going to charge for this app. So financially and in the big picture, what do they get?
So there is some ad revenue that can come, right? Local searches is a big business. People are always looking for deals and information around them. But the bigger war is really who has a cooler phone, who has better services that people want. The sort of Android ecosystem of Google services or the Apple ecosystem. And Apple makes its money off selling phones, and if the iPhone isn't the hottest thing with the best services, people are going to shift more to Android, as we've already seen in some instances. So one of the reasons maps are so crucial is they're seen as sort of a core reason people want a certain type of phone. And they're going to compete neck and neck to really make the experience the best, so to keep people on their platform.
And remind us again, Jessica, roughly when is the time frame for this to be out with iTunes?
So we don't know when they're going to submit it for approval to Apple, but we do know that it's sort of in the final testing phase, so we anticipate it'll be pretty soon.